to just 14 points in that final period. What did you like best about your defense down the stretch?
We just played hard. We persevered. We persevered. That's what we did. The best thing we did is we stayed with it. We kept fighting. We didn't let the big-time shot he made at the end of the third quarter to put him up 7. We didn't let that, gain them momentum. We didn't, hang our heads. We just kept fighting, and that was the best thing. It was a very difficult game, uneven. We did not play very well offensively. They got to where they were shooting the ball really well, but we just kept fighting. I mean, there were times I was looking up, I'll be honest, wondering how we were where we were in the game, because they were 10 for 22 at the free throw line. We're turning the ball over. I mean, we didn't play clean basketball, but we just kept fighting. And then defensively, I thought our guys did a much better job on the ball in the fourth quarter. And then Jackson was just there all the time. Best defensive game he's played this year.
I'm glad you brought him up, because he was my next question. He just seems to be growing up before our eyes, especially in this last little run here. What to you is the biggest improvement and growth in his game?
Well, I think, consistency. We talked about it before the game. He's been able to put together more games of playing well. And to come back off of the Philly game into this game tonight and play well and play both halves well, I think is a major step. And then, to do what he did defensively and then hit the game winner basically. Great night for him. Happy for him.
Coach, you go back to the second quarter, one of the factors that really started to turn it around was the fact that they were rebounding the ball offensively, specifically Zeller. He was really doing a good job, and it looked like that got cleaned up down the stretch, and they weren't able to get those second chance opportunities.
He had 13 second chance points in the first half and 0 in the second half. So huge part of the game. Didn't think we were physical enough, thought we were leaking out in the first half, not getting enough guys back, and in the second half we got in and fought.
Did you expect Nickeil to play this long with such a long time, 18 games in over a month?
20 to 24 minutes is about what we were aiming for. I was talking to Tom Maystad on the bench, making sure that we were okay, and I thought he played well for, especially for the amount of time he was off.
Jackson, I know you talked about more consistent motor is one of the keys to his success this season on the defensive end. Is there anything else you can point to why he has improved there?
Jackson just walked in the room, so I can't be honest anymore. No, I'm kidding. I was talking, Jackson sucked tonight. Are we kidding? Like, come on. The guy was awful. No. Listen, I think the key and I say this all the time, it's not just Jackson, it's young players in general. The key is consistency. The key is every night. I mean, what you normally see in young players, right, is up and down and up and down and up and down. And we had that with Jax, quite honestly, early in the year. And then he was out of the rotation and the whole thing. And now he's starting to string good games together. And that's what's important. Why? You can ask him. My guess is maturity, focus, experience, you get used to the grind, you get used to the preparation every day. But that's been the difference. But he can talk to you about why.
Stan, you see that game-sealing bucket with Nickeil going to Jackson there. Considering what those two guys have gone through this season, considering how important they are to the future of this franchise, do you take any extra meaning from something like that, or can you extrapolate that at all, or is that a sports writer thing that we kind of look at that in a bigger way than maybe?
Well, I don't put too much into it. They're two really good players. Like, they're two really good players, so they should be able to make plays like that. That's how I look at it. I mean, they're good players. Nickeil made a good read because Biyombo was coming to block. He's obviously a great shot blocker, but he was flattened out on the baseline. He was too far below Jackson, and so when Nickeil flipped him the ball, Jackson was right there, and as you know, he's got great touch in that area and knocked it in. So, I mean, a big time play by Nickeil and a big time finish by Jax.
Hey Stan, it's Andrew. Going back to Nikhil, I know you said he was in that 20 to 24 range. Was there a conscious effort to make sure that there was a chunk that he was going to be able to play the final 3-5 minutes of the game?
Yes, on my part. On my part. He probably was not tired when we took him out in the fourth, but I wanted to be able to bring him back at the end because of his ability to break down defense.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Okay.